This model kit review is of the Lockheed PV-1, the Ventura. It is a 1/48 scale model, and it's by FM Models. And these are the Fonderie miniature. They're unfortunately no longer in business. It's a French model company that made some very good quality models. There are going to be a lot of different pieces here. Looks like we have our decals. We'll just take a quick look at those if we can. Looks like these have been cut into smaller pieces and then put in here. They all seem to be here. These are nicely printed and a fair amount of detail. We also have our photo etched parts for seat belts, buckles, and also for the instrument panel. Having a look at the section, the tail section, it actually doesn't look all that impressive. Some of these lines are not straight. There are no rivet lines. These are recessed. We have a lot of flashing, definitely a lot of mold lines. It doesn't look like it's very well finished. Same thing over here. This looks like probably one of the bulkheads. As you can tell here, it's just really not very well finished. Look at all these mold lines here. Here's the engine cowling, and we have some wheels, propellers, lots of mold lines everywhere. It's going to require a lot of work to put this together. Here's the other propeller. Look at that. It's quite a lot of standing. Same thing with over here. Let's have a look at our fuselage. It's a larger model. Again, lots and lots of mold lines, little bits of flashing here and there, some more flashing, all recessed lines. Even the edges here are not well finished. Here's for our wing. Have a look at our other wing here. The molding quality is not what I would expect. Looking at all these parts, they're all the same as the other side. Here's our glass. Also not very well made. Needs to be polished up. Looks like we have some bubble tops. This is actually made out of plastic. The flexible sheet of plastic, and it's vacuum molded. The same with this, which is a little disappointing. Over here we have looks like metal pieces, and that's interesting. And these are parts of the guns. Over here we have parts for the landing gear. This is actually made out of lead, so it's very soft and pliable, and will hopefully be easy to finish, because that's mold lines are not great for that tail. We have lots and lots of little pieces here made out of lead, all going to require a lot of extra finishing. Landing gear pieces. Looking over here, looks like we also have a chair. I'm not sure why that couldn't have been made out of plastic. Here's the other chair. Here is the engine parts. Goes on here. Here's the crankcase, and there's a radio engine that we're going to get glued in And here are the different parts. That probably can be made out of resin as well. They'll need to be cut off, and those mold lines need to be sanded down. So we have 2 of those. And we have a whole section here on, it's been cut open, made out of resin. And resin parts usually have a tremendous amount of detail, as you can see here. Yeah, these are the wheel wells. This is the gunner turrets. One of the bulkheads with radio. Another one of the areas of the fuselage form is the inside of the plane here. Tremendous amount of detail. These days it seems like most model companies are able to achieve this level of detail with plastic injection. It just takes time and money to get the molds right. This looks like this is part of our instrument panel. And exhausts. Let's have a look at our instructions. So it shows you putting together the cockpit first, then the fuselage goes together, and wheel wells go in. Wings then are put together, and engines with the exhausts. And looking at the other side here, the tail, the stabilizer gets put together, the landing gear, and then rear gunners nose parts are put on, and then different antennas. And then for the night fighter, there's the antenna. And here are the 2 different versions. There's a I think it's a French version up here, and then a US version. So, all in all, the molding quality is not great. It does have a fair amount of extra detail with these parts made out of resin, and a lot of parts made out of lead, but it's going to require a lot of work to put this together.